The Canary Murder Case Novel Summary in English. Let's begin. Charles Spotswood is happy when his son Jimmy breaks off his affair with conniving showgirl Margaret Odell, known as the Canary, and reconciles his engagement with her co-star and neighbor Alice Law Foss. Spotswood goes to see the Canary to bribe her to leave Jimmy alone, but she declines his offer. She wishes to marry Jimmy to further her ambitions of joining the social elite. She threatens to reveal Jimmy's embezzlement from the elder Spotswood's bank if Jimmy marries Alice, and despite his pleading, refuses to negotiate. After Spotswood leaves, she telephones two club patrons she has been blackmailing, Cleaver and Mannix, to demand one final generous gift from each of them by the next day. She makes the same request of creepy admirer Dr. Lindquist. Her former husband Tony Scheel, who has broken into her apartment and has overheard her phone calls, demands half of the blackmail. She refuses to give him anything, even after he hits her. The following night around midnight, Spotswood visits her again, but is again unable to change her mind. After he reaches the lobby of her building, he and another person hear screams from her place. They knock on the door, but she assures them that she is fine. Cleaver, Mannix, and Lindquist are all shown lurking about her apartment building late that night. The Canary is found strangled the next day. The coroner places the time of death around midnight. District Attorney Markham investigates, aided by Spotswood's close friend Philo Vance, and Police Sergeant Heath. After all the suspects are brought in for questioning, Vance asks Markham to keep them waiting for a few hours. Markham agrees. Vance subtly maneuvers Cleaver, Mannix, Lindquist, and the two Spotswoods into playing poker to pass the time so he can observe their personality traits. Only one shows the daring, imagination and discipline required for the crime. That man bluffs Vance, betting everything with just a pair of deuces. The suspects are then released. Scheel, who witnessed the murder while hiding in the closet, sends the killer several blackmail letters. He too is strangled. A pen found at the scene has Jimmy's name on it, so Heath arrests him for the murder. Jimmy then confesses to both murders, but Vance knows better. He telephones Charles Spotswood with the news and suggests they meet in an hour. Spotswood speeds to the city from his country estate to confess, but his chauffeur makes a fatal mistake by trying to beat a train to a crossing, and Spotswood is killed. Now Vance has to show how Charles murdered the Canary in order to free Jimmy. He is able to prove that the Canary was dead before Spotswood left her apartment that night. Spotswood had made a recording. Vance speculates it was Spotswood himself pretending to be the woman, to fool a stuttering witness into believing the Canary was alive after her death. The recording is found in the apartment, and Jimmy is released. The end.